There once was a busload of poets. Crossing the country, you know it. They whipped out their ditties in all kinds of cities. Sit back.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. It's a bad mother. Shut your mouth. I'm just talking about my black superhero, baby. When I was a child, I wanted to be a superhero, a black superhero. My mama used to pin a big old beach towel around my neck. I put on my red cowboy boots, and in an instant, I was black and strong, black and intelligent, black and beautiful. I was a black superhero, baby. I was the original Lone Ranger before he got with Tonto, and I wouldn't be swinging around your neighborhood like that silly fool in tight Spider-Man. Oh no, I was more like the Black Tarantula. I'd even cruise a mean city streets in my Blackmobile while keeping the fuzz in check. I even possessed the super black gift of gab, reciting Malcolm X speeches to the uninformed. Shit, I was bad.
He was bad.
I was cool. I would even shoot soul power out of my black power fist afro pick. And my theme music consisted of songs like I'm Black and I'm Proud by James Brown, Respect
by Aretha Franklin,
and Chocolate City by Parliament Funkadelic. Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's a bad motherfucker.
Shut your
mouth.
I'm just talking about my redneck superhero, baby. When I was a child, I wanted to be a superhero, a redneck superhero. I'd don myself in black, expose my butt crack, and walk with the swagger of Johnny Cash. Spew the verbiage of Roscoe P. Coltrane, and possess the dynamic good looks of Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson?
I'd cruise the roll back roads of Mesquite, Texas in my promenade out 76 Ford, faded rebel flag hanging from the wire hanger antenna, and seek out the most perverse of degenerates, thieves, muggers, and people who say they ain't even Christians. I'd paralyze them with the toxic juices I'd spit with the power of my red man shoe, and after a long day's haul, I'd hunker down in my steel-reinforced double-wide six-pack of Coors and my theme song, Good Friends, Good Whiskey, Good Lovin'. Yeah, man, I'd be a redneck superhero.
Look! Up in the sky!
It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's a bad mother.
Shut your mouth.
I'm just talking about my gay superhero, baby. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a superhero, a fashionable one. I would steal my big sister's Wonder Woman underoos, pin her 1970s Bugaloo wings to my back, take her fairy wand in hand, and then what? Bam! I was a gay superhero, baby. Oh, I was so original, redecorating homes in a single bound. Girl, please, Martha Stewart ain't got nothing on this bitch. I was flawless. I was fabulous. I would shoot power like sequins and golden May out of my blow dryer. Cruising the mall in my new Versace, keeping my boys in check.
Hey now.
My theme music consisted of Vogue by Madonna, Express Yourself by Madonna, and Like a Virgin by
Madonna. No longer with the man oppress my people.
No longer with bad things going north.
Someone to save the day.
Someone to take the pain away.
Someone to kick your racist ass.
For I was.
I am.
And shall continue to be a black
gay
redneck
superhero, baby.
We're all in a bus. There's a rotating crew of 100 poets from around the country on the bus. But we've been on tour. This is just our third gig. We started in Seattle 2 days ago, Portland last night, Chico tonight. Tomorrow is Oakland, the next day San Francisco, and then 38 days later, we end up in Providence, Rhode Island at the National Poetry Slam.
This is a historical event in American letters, a bunch of poets riding around America on a bus.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are sweating for you tonight, and it's not for the oldies, it's for the poetry.
Give it up! Give it up, kids! Yep, coming to Tempe, Arizona.
Oklahoma City, baby.
And right here is the grassy knoll.
Grassy knoll.
And I've had sex there.
You have. Can I shake your hand?
So what's up, Austin? How you doing?
America's is situated nicely between New Orleans, Louisiana, and where are we going tomorrow?
Atlanta. Slam America. Tour poetry tour bus in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
The gateway to the West, baby. St. Louis, Missouri.
Folks, they are traveling across the country, picking up poets, dropping them off. I'm disappointed. There's only one person been in jail so far.
It's wonderful to be here in Worcester.
Listen, his father made a habit out of hitting him. See, some men drink, some men yell, some men hit their children. This man did it all because I guess all men want their boys to be geniuses. Beethoven. Little boy living in a house where a name meant nothing. Living in a house where mercy had to be earned through each perfect note tumbling up through the roof to tickle the toes of angels whose harps couldn't hold half the passion that was held in the hands of a young boy who was hard of hearing. Beethoven, who heard his father's anthem every time he put finger to ivory. It was not good enough. So he played slowly, not good enough. So he played softly, not good enough. So he played strongly, not good enough. And when he could play no more, when his fingers cramped up into the gnarled roots of tree trunks, it was not good enough. Beethoven, a musician without his most precious tool, his eardrums could no longer pound out rhythms for the symphonies playing in his mind. He couldn't hear the audiences clapping, couldn't hear the people loving him, couldn't hear the women in the front row whispering, Beethoven. As they let the music invade their nervous system like an armada marching through, firing cannonballs, detonating every molecule in their body into explosions of heavenly sensation. Each note leaving track marks over every inch of their body, making them ache for one more hit. He was an addiction. And kings, queens, it didn't matter. The man got down on his knees for no one, but amputated the legs of his piano so he could feel the vibrations through the floor. The man got down on his knees for music. And when the orchestra played his symphonies, it was the echoes of his father's anthem repeating itself like a book and record. It was not good enough. So they played slowly, not good enough. So they played softly, not good enough. So they played strongly, not good enough. So they tried to mock the man, make fun of the madness by mimicking the movements, holding their bows a quarter of an inch above the strings, not making a sound. It was perfect. See, the deaf have an intimacy with silence. It's there in their dreams. And the musicians turn to one another, not knowing what to make of the man, trying to calculate the distance between madness and genius, realizing that Beethoven's musical measurements could take you to distances reaching past the towers of Babylon, turning solar systems into symbols that crashed together, causing comets to collide, creating crescendos that were so loud they shook the constellations until the stars began to fall from the sky, and it looked like the entire universe had begun to cry. Distance must be an illusion. The man must be a genius. Beethoven, his thoughts moving at the speed of sound, transforming emotion into music. And for a moment, it was like joy. It was a tangible thing, like you could touch it. Like for the first time, we could watch love and hate dance together in a waltz of such precision and beauty that we finally understood. The history wasn't important. To know the man, all we ever had to do was listen.
From the fastest growing news station in Northern California, you are watching Today About the Bay.
What is it like to be a news reporter?
It's cool. Very cool. I mean, I'm the morning feature guy. This is actually our second week doing it, so we just launched a new show. So pay sucks, but at least it's somewhat stable.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool.
So
Are you guys making a documentary?
Yeah, we are. So you
Why
started
are you asking me so many questions, man? Why don't you just leave me alone? Turn the camera.
With Bob Riddell for a quick preview.
Hey, don't say ass. Can I say punk ass? No. Yeah, you can say punk ass. Okay.
What did you expect this morning?
Yeah, he's not in Arena Park. Oh. And I looked around and I saw other wussy boys living large and proud of who they were. Anthony Michael Hall, wussy boy. Michael J. Fox, wussy boy. And Lord God King of the wussy boy movement,
I have a friend here, Gary. What is this?
Of the world, insensitive guys. Kick Papa E, the leader of the wussy boys now, on the Slam America Tour. I'm no longer afraid of my
And what exactly is this Slam America Tour?
It's a 30-city tour across America, and poets on the bus, 100 poets on the bus, crossing the country, the freshest, hottest poetry. And one of our sponsors just flew over.
What? Huh? So you guys are what we call extreme poets.
That's right. We're into gesticulation and extremeness.
What is it?
Gesticulation.
Gesticulation. And these are
These
extreme
are poets.
Wow. You guys are live?
Yeah.
You're going to be portrayed as monkeys.
Well, basically, guys, these guys are on tour. They got their own tour bus, and when you see it, you kind of think of a rock and roll band. And I guess these guys are what you'd call extreme poets. They're kind of like a rock and roll version of poetry. Ben Porter Lewis is going to do a little freestyle. Basically, I just got to give you a word, and you're going to go nuts. My word is concrete.
We're breaking it live in San Jose, real time, on the concrete, the street beats. We got the concrete hack, we got spoken word poetry coming through with the plan. Poetry on Channel 0, you better slam. We coming correct for you across the nation. The brothers' gesticulations, oracular verbal assault on your mama. Assault on your mama.
Channel 0. Channel 11.
I appreciated that.
Yo, mama! Woo!
Hit me with one of those cat calls. See, I was walking down the street like your sister, like your mama, walking down your street like your daughter, like your grandma, writing that symphony in my mind. I could see the violinist about to touch the bow to the strings when, damn, baby, Milk It did your body good. I'm walking down your street like your sister, like your mama, walking down your street like your daughter, like your grandma, but you don't want to hear that because you're only looking for a lover, so all you see are curves. Hit me with one of those cat calls. When I'm walking down the street writing that poem in my mind, I had written the outline and was about to start the rhyme when, hey, mommy, where you headed? And you saved me from the prison of my mind. Oh, call me mommy again, please. Hit me with one of those cat calls just one more time so that I can feel my womanly worth. I'll call you Papi because every woman really wants a daddy. And you're the first man to ever be completely honest about what women really need. And I need another cat call because I sometimes lose awareness of my curves, and you remind me I should never worry my little head about the problems of this man's world because there are big, strong machos like you who value your sister's beauty. You just have to celebrate with the Arsa Rosita. When I'm walking down the street like your sister, like your mama, walking down your street like your daughter, like your grandma, feeling kind of scared, you know, walking down that street in that neighborhood in these times, and just as paranoia is kicking my ass, whoa, beautiful, I'm in heaven. You made me feel so at home and even a little turned on to boot. Hey, where you going in such a big hurry? Come back and give me another cat call, because nobody can howl like you, baby. Gets me all hot just to think what else you can do with that tongue wagging back and forth. And you always remind me it doesn't matter what I wear because I can be a complete mess and honk, you fine. What was I thinking? Actually worrying about things that don't concern me like education and respect when all I really need more than flowers, more than candy, more than respect is a hunka man in a hunka car and those drive-by love notes that convince me that I think I'm in love too. Hit me with one of those cat calls. See, you finally hit on the one thing that drives me wild. I just hope your daughter gets to meet such giving men as you.
Are you lonely? Have you always wanted to ride around the country in a bus with a bunch of smelly poets? Do you have lots of free time and no commitments to the world or society in general? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then boy, do I have a once-in-a-lifetime offer for you. But wait, there's more. I'd like to extend an invitation for you to join the Slam America Tour. You'll share a motel bed with 3 of your closest poet friends, but most nights will actually sleep on the bus. Won't you run away and join the Poetry Carnival? When I first thought of the poetry bus idea, everyone said, you have to be joking. No one will give us money to drive around the U.S. reading poems, but look at the love. The tour was a blur. I remember highlights, but not where they happened. Was it Worcester or Austin where we had the incident? Remembering the tour is like catching a dream. It keeps slipping away. Often we were lost. Most people fell asleep on the bus only to wake up to read their poems. So here we are, in the thick of it, poems popping in and out. Where we are, only the driver knows, and he speaks in haiku.
Where you flying to, little butterfly?
Where you flying to? Is there some big butterfly ball to go to? A lovely party in the sky? Butterfly. Did you bring a dish to share? Did you? Some cream of mushroom soup, green beans, pearl onions, and bagel bits to share? That Pyrex dish is mighty heavy. How'd you get that up there? Oh, you're flying pretty. Flying pretty high. Need a couple drinks? Couple drinks to get you by? Fly! Butterfly! You're worried sick. Worried about your crazy drinking butterfly ways. Oh, you've seen better days, butterfly. You've seen better days. You remember those days on the road with the Doobie Brothers? Do you, motherfucker? Setting up night stands for the boys and getting high. I mean, really. Fucking high. Butterfly. Jesus is just alright by you. Jesus is just alright, butterfly. And those bastard Doobie Brothers. They stranded you in Pittsburgh, man. They made you cry. They made you cry. Butterfly, yes, Shappy. I want to kill you. And the butterfly walked on down the hall, put his boots on. Butterfly, yes, Shappy. I wanna. Find one, baby.
How the hell are we going this way? This way, this way, this way, this way.
It's 5 a.m. We're on the road from Austin to New Orleans. Everyone is asleep, cramped into the bus seats. The swamp is waking up. Or is this a crab bar in Baltimore? Or that naked hot tub no one wanted filmed? Anyway, it's dark and hot and steamy and there's alligators everywhere. I know you're looking for a story, a thread to hold on to, a little foreshadowing, someone to pick up a skull, or a poet to be attacked by a cyclops, a chorus of wet nymphs calling the bus to crash on their curvy rocks. Remember Red Asphalt from Driver's Ed? Now that was a message movie. Drive stupid and die. Alas, we're all about metaphor. When we say voice, we mean life. Listen to the words, the stories, and the rhyme. Meanwhile, back at the poem.
Why do I write poetry? Because I have to. I write poetry because I have to.
Because I have to. I don't really have a choice.
I write poetry because I have to.
Pretty much because I have to.
I don't have a choice. That feels like the really cliched answer, but because I have to.
I write poetry because it's really where money can be made. There's a lot of money to be made in poetry, so
I write poetry for a lot of reasons, but mostly it started, believe it or not, because I was trying to impress a teacher who I thought was real impressive in the 11th grade.
I don't know. I just did this to meet girls.
Actually, I'm not writing poetry anymore.
I'd like to catch the fella who's making all these people write poetry.
There's a kind of silence that strengthens as time lengthens. And silence left unshattered is more golden than that matter that the alchemists invented. There is that silence where the I love you too bird used to live. I love you. I love you too. I love you. I love you too. I love you. There is that silence that lives finely sliced between Venetian blinds. A silence that separates a stranger's cries from the quickening glances of safe, good people. And as a rock starts to fly and a baby lies wailing on the quicksand sidewalk, hi, you've reached the home of Andrew, Mark, and Paul. If you're calling about what happened, what happened, what happened? And who knew his last words would be stop? In the valley of the gutter, in the alley by the window where the mother and the daughter lay huddled, who knew his last words would be? And then a summing up silence of violence interrupted as 3 young boys went beating him, kicking him. And then there were 2 kicking him, beating him. And then there was 1. And the silent observation of 2 was as deadly as the knife that slid into my bleeding fresh man of 21. My high school principal kisser, my airband Frankenfurter, my unrequited lover and forever, ever anchor. And now the morning sun is blaring Good Samaritan at me. And I'm staring at the newspaper box. And he's staring out from the newspaper box. And his eyes are forgiving where mine are not. Still, I put my coin into the slot and pick up my copy of Paul. You know, I convinced myself at his funeral that we gathered for his wedding, expecting him to Lazarus down that aisle any moment and throw over that casket like Jesus. To turn on the carrying camera crew and say, get ye to obstetrics and report ye someone new for a change. And then he throws me on the back of his Kawasaki and his family sings, turn, turn, turn. And we're sacrificing maple leaves red under our tires and his family sings, a time to every purpose. And I'm screaming. I love you. And from somewhere through these years, I hear that little bird return. I love you.
By day, the skyscraper looms in the smoke and the sun and has a soul. Prairies and valleys, streets of the city pour people into it. And they mingle among the many floors and are poured out again back into the streets, prairies, and valleys.
It is the men and women so poured in and out all day to give the building a soul of dreams, thoughts, and memories. Dumped into the sea or fixed in the desert, who would care for the building or speak its name or ask a policeman the way to it? Elevators slide on cables. Tubes catch letters and parcels. Iron pipes carry gas and water in, sewage out. Wires climb with secrets, carry light, carry words, tell of terrors, profits, and loves. Curses of men, grappling plans of business, questions of women, and plots of love. Hour by hour, the caissons reach down to the rock of the earth and hold the building to a turning planet. Hour by hour, the girders reach out as ribs and hold together the stone walls and floors. Hour by hour, the sun and the rain, the air and the rust play on the building inside and out. The men who sunk the pilings and mixed the mortar are laid in graves where the wind whistles a wild song without words. And so are the men who strung the wires and fixed the pipes, and those who watched it rise floor by floor. Souls of them all are here. Doors from tier to tier, hundreds of names, and each name standing for a face written over the story of a dead child or a passionate look, or a lost cuisines of life. Behind the signs and the doors they work, and the walls tell nothing from room to room. $10 a week stenographers take letters for corporation officers and efficiency engineers and lawyers, and hundreds of bundles of letters go out to all acres of the planet. The smiles and tears of each office grunt go into the soul of the building, along with those of the master men who rule it. But the hands of the clock turn to noon hours, and each floor empties out its men and women who rush off to eat lunch at little tables crammed together at Taco Bell or Burger King, and they eat real fast so that they can get back before the boss gets pissed off at them. But in the afternoon, all work slackens. The jobs go slower because the people feel the day ending. One by one, the uniformed elevator men go home. Pails clank, buckets clunk, mop and broom clean from the floor human dust and grime. Spelled in electric fire on the rooftops are words that tell miles and miles of houses. Where to buy a thing for money. Where to buy that thing for money. The sign speaks till midnight. darkness on the hallways. Voices echo. Silence holds. Watchmen walk slow from floor to floor. Try the door. Revolvers bulge from their hip pockets. Steel safes stand in the corner. Lucre is stacked with them. A young watchman leans against the window and sees the lights of barges flooding across the harbor. Red and white lanterns in the railroad yard. A span of gloom streaked with lines of white clustering over the sleeping city. By night, the skyscraper moves with smoke and stars. It has a soul.
Dig it. It's like giving blood. Just put your lips together and whistle. Don't try to understand poems. Let them understand you. Take long walks, drink lots of water, stay out of the sun, and if you must tan, then use Crisco. Avoid red meat. If you must eat red meat, then remember to chew before you swallow. What are teeth for? Remember the smell of the air after a thunderstorm. It's that easy, like falling off a barrel of monkeys, like a hot dog in Central Park. This film is full of additives. Still a little mustard, some relish, a quick bite, a rowboat, and you're in business. Now, snap your fingers, click your heels. There's no place like poem.
I love Boston. I love big cities. But I live in the Ozarks, and I have a wonderful backyard that stretches all the way to the next block. So when the man came to install my hot tub, he said, well, what about we put it by the house, because you'll have some privacy. I said, no. And he said, what about by the pecan, because you got an outlet there? I said, oh, no, stick it over yonder, because I got to have it in the clearing. I want to see the stars. And it's no matter that I am in full view of my neighbor's junk cars and defunct appliances. Lord, it's their custom to spill tumbling through the screen door. A wooden frame will just slap against the jamb. Now the man, he is the boyfriend. And he stands with legs spread wide for balance against the shifting ground. His shirt is ripped and open, and the shirt tails, how they just kind of flap in disbelief. The women, now they mother and daughter, drunken sentries, boulders blocking the door, and they spit and they bellow and they go, get here, get the fuck out of here. And it is no matter to them that he wails. Fists clenched, arms bleeding, but she needs a man! She needs a man! And I think, oh God almighty, who on earth is he referring to? Don't he know we all in need of some comfort here? I want to see the stars. I want to see the stars, and it's no matter that in the dark, I'm an earthbound moon. I'm naked and drowned. I skid along the grass, walk to roll into a steaming sea with a But you see the spark from my neighbor's cigarette stings like shame. I want to see the stars, mister. I want to see the stars, cause it is no matter that in midlife I carry my childhood fear of the dark up close near my heart. It's a troublesome bane I ain't never gonna be free from. I court logic. I do. I name the levels of the atmosphere. I chart the configuration of stars, and I even analyze the chemical composition of astro dust, but it don't matter. The voice in my head goes, what if these monsters? What if I shut my eyes, crazy man comes in, slits my throat? What if I stare at the heavens and the sky cracks wide? Angels could slip in through that blind, and then stars rip from the firmament form letters and words and prophecies alike, and it will not matter. It won't matter at all, cause I want to see the stars this time. I want to see the stars.
Yeah!
I don't know why these poets get all worked up. I guess you can learn to like anything if you're around it enough, even poetry.
I am waiting for Venus Williams to save me. Like some great Maasai Amazon warrior stepping out of jungle foliage onto green open fields outlined in white with sword in hand, prepared to do battle, spitting words of flame like, I didn't come to play good tennis, I came to win. Beads, singing like Medusa's hair, flailing against gravity as tennis racket hits full moon across net. And I'm stretched back 20 years to an uncoordinated, painfully skinny kid holding a tennis racket in hand, sweat saturating the grip as the coach on the other side of the court hollers, you're playing like a girl, Alfie. That's when I feel her slender fingers wrap around my shoulders and gently push me aside. Eyes of marble and onyx stare down a little man across the net and serve. Her men coming at ya. Zooming at 100 miles an hour, man, you better hit or get hit. And he decides to get hit. Bam! And I'm standing on the sideline screaming, 15 love! And don't know what the hell I'm talking about. As the goddess of love stretched her statuesque arms in the air and serve and serve and serve, calling forth hailstones shaped like tennis balls to rain from the sky, pounding into her premature balding head, while he's screaming at the top of his lungs, stop, stop, stop. And when she does, she rocks there going back and forth, left to right, waiting for a vibe that would never come. And I'm standing over the bully coach talking about, who's playing like a girl now, huh? Who's playing like a girl now? What? And when I turn around, she is gone. The second planet from the star we know so well, flung back into the cosmos where she belongs, leaving me to fast forward 20 years back to the future to a man slightly more comfortable with his height, weight, and lack of athleticism. Watching her on the television screen as my daughter crawls on the floor before me, making me think of her. Every time Venus whacks another ball into the stratosphere, I'm caught up in the fact that my daughter will face obstacles I never had to see just because of her sex. At that moment, at that instant, overcome by memories of an event that never even happened, I want to grab my daughter up in my arms and tell her, baby, these flawed genes I passed down to you may not be the stuff of Venus Williams and Mia Hamm. You may not write novels like Edwidge Dandy Cat or Joyce Carol Oates. You may never see the moon so close that you can touch it, that you can taste it like Mae Jameson, but wherever your talents lie, it will be beautiful and you will be beautiful for who you are. Weaknesses, strength, and all. And if they ever tell you, baby, you're playing like a girl, be proud and know that you will win like a woman.
Unless you mean just in the sense of fair. In the sense of fair.
Maybe you're a man who has never sucked dick. Maybe you're a man who has never sucked dick, and you want to know what it's like. Well, I'm a woman who has sucked dick.
Chinchilla hips.
It's an incredible rush of power. Carrying that package in your mouth from a place of distraction to a point of unbearable focus, for me, it's often the best part of sex.
How about that fire, grasshopper wings?
If I were a man, I'd have a big dick. I mean, a real handful.
Maybe some inspired new technique to bring the creeping crush of orgasm to crescendo.
He was an earthquake from the get-go. He realigned my tectonic plates with a smile from the bottom of the earth and a hard-on that shook my foundations.
Hot enough for you, monkey lips. Fucking for the Yankee Dollar. Thank you.
Or maybe a combination of tongue and fingers, breasts and belly.
It will be the most romantic night of my entire life, and I'll be alone.
Oh, fuck it, 'cause I love you, man, and not in a slap on the ass after football practice sort of a way.
I am tasty. I am rich and aromatic and well-seasoned and earthy.
Granite fingers search for the point where two become one as limbs intertwine, gates open and bodies unite in a dance that comes a little too naturally and lasts a little too long until breath comes in gas, back starts, toes curl, and we collapse. It's exhaustion, but it's the good tired. Laying in each other's arms and sleeping. Good sleeping.
I can sense the edge of that coin with my actions on one side and his reactions on the other. And we send it spinning, spinning, scattering the light.
My name is Big Papa E, and I am a wussy boy. It's taken me a long time to admit it. I remember shouting in high school, "No, Dad, I'm not gay. I'm just a little sensitive." I tried to like hot rods and jet planes and Budweiser poster girls and fucking football, but I never got the hang of it. I don't know what's wrong with me, Dad. And then I saw him. There on the silver screen, bigger than life and unafraid of earrings and hair dye and rejoicing in the music of The Cure and Morrissey and Susie and the Banshees, walking loud and talking proud, my wussy boy icon, Ducky in Pretty in Pink. And I realized I wasn't alone, and I looked around and I saw other wussy boys living large and proud of who they were. Ralph Macchio, wussy boy. C. Thomas Howell, wussy boy. And Lord God, King of the wussy boy movement, Matthew Broderick. Unafraid to prove to the world that sensitive guys kick much ass. Now, I'm no longer ashamed of my wussiness. Hell no, I am empowered by it. When I pull up to a stoplight and some redneck testosterone methamphetamine jock frat boy asshole dumb fuck pulls up beside me, cranking his Trans Am stereo with power chord anthems till big tits and date rape, I no longer avert my gaze. Hell no, I just crank all 12 watts of my car stereo. And I rock out right to his face. I am human and I need to be loved, just like everybody else does. I am wussy boy. Hear me roar. Bar fight? Shit, you think you can take me, huh? Just because I like poetry better than Sports Illustrated? Well, allow me to caution you, for I am not the average, everyday, run-of-the-mill wussy boys you beat up in high school, punk. I am fucking wuss-core. Don't make me get Renaissance on your ass, because I will write a poem about you. A poem that will tear your psyche limb from limb, that will expose your selfish insecurities, that will wound you deeper and more severely than knives and chains and gats and baseball bats could ever hope to do. You may see 65 inches of wussy boy standing in front of you, but my steel-toed soul is 10 foot tall and bulletproof. Bring the pain, punk. Beat the shit out of me. Show everybody in this bar what a real man can do to a shit-talking wussy boy like me. But you better remember, my bruises will fade, my cuts will heal, my scars will shrink and disappear. But my poem about the pitiful, small, helpless cockman oppressor you really are will last forever, fucker.
I ain't no movie star. No, don't point that camera at me. I'll be in your film. Peekaboo, 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 boo, boo, hoo, hoo.
Hello, I am Uta, and I am artist. Uta has not been so successful, you know, with the males of the US. I mean, they come up to me in the bar, and they ask if I am natural bluehead. What do they want to know? Is my pubic hair blue? I have no pubic hair. It is inefficient. I'm from Germany, but my mother is from LA. Sometimes you'll notice this sort of Jaja LA trash twang in my voice. I was raised by a woman from LA, you know, but she raised me in Germany, and now I am here exploring my branches. And I am trying to find the men in the art. There was nobody to love on that tour except for Paul. He's a bus driver now. He was a man. Is that wussy boy gay? Or what? Is he gay or is he not gay? Is he a wuss? Haiku, what is haiku? All it is haiku. It's a short bed poem. We have syllables in Germany, but they are much better.
I don't write no poems no more.
The thing I like about this Paul, he's very mysterious to me because when he talks, the sounds coming out of his mouth are not in sync. That makes me very happy. I mean, when I hear him, I see him and he says something, but the words, they don't come out just like that. They come out sort of like after effect. I love that. That's good. It's nice.